That's DS1 of your pre-council workshop agenda. The first item is CA1, consider minutes of regular city council meeting of November 8th, 2011. Anyone have any questions or comments on that? Next item, CA2 is to consider the minutes of the special city council meeting of November 17th, 2011. Any comments, questions? Next item is CA3, to consider a memorandum resolution ratifying change order number 1 for the Little Nolan Creek Interceptor Replacement Phase 1B project. City Manager?
Steve Conn is here to break down that Public Works.
Sure. Mayor, City Council, on September 13th of 2011, the City Council approved a contract with In Situ Form Technologies for a total of $822,000 to rehab a large sewer line that we have. It's 27, 24, 21 inch. It goes kind of behind the Automax, behind the Home Depot, behind the movie theater, and up across 190. A part of this contract and what was funding it was a STAG grant, an EPA STAG grant. It was funding it in an amount of 55%. When the bids came back for this project, it was one of those things that it's nice to happen, but in this situation we had to make some changes because of it, but the bid was actually a little bit too low. And so we approached the EPA. It was too low for us to be able to get the full amount back from the grant, the 55%. That 55% would have been a total of $478,000. And so we approached the EPA and we asked them, what should we do? And they said, well, go back and look at bringing a contract amendment, or a change order to us for the amount that would bring you to the total that is needed or a little bit over that so that you'll be able to receive the full amount back. And so that's what we did. We took a look at the pipe that flows into or goes into this area that we were rehabbing, and it needed rehab just as well. And so the change order was for 547 feet of 21 inch rehabbed pipe. It was for a total of $66,000. That took us over the amount so that we were able to get the full $478,000 of the grant money back. We took this to the city manager because we were also on a time schedule that we had to get this through. He approved of the change order, and now we bring it forward to you to ask for you to ratify that change order so that we can finish out this project basically. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Mr. Lauer?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Where's this located?
Yes, sir. It's kind of from about, it runs in front of the Academy, and then at Appleby it cuts to the northeast, goes behind USAA, the movie theater, Home Depot, Automax, down to our lift station number 2, which is at MLK.
Mr. City Manager, did you have any alternative other than to do this?
No, sir. And just like items C3 through 7, they were either time sensitive or of significance that we needed to take action. So we did that.
So without a council, it was either without authority to do anything, you decided that it was best for the city to do it?
That's correct.
So we have a choice to either ratify your actions or have you write a check?
That would be it.
Any questions?
Staff highly recommends ratification.
Mr. Oakrey?
Just out of curiosity.
Yes, sir.
How much did that cost?
The original contract was for $822,000. With the change order, it took it up to right at $888,000.
Any other questions for Stan? Thank you, Mr. Conant. Next item, CA4, consider a memorandum resolution ratifying change order number 1 to State Highway 195-201 interchange pass-through financing contract with Anderson Columbia Company Incorporated. Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. George Luke, our Director of Transportation, is here to brief out.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Mr. Mayor, this, and council, this change order was a two-part change order. When we did the State Highway 201 widening, because we had to fast-track the opening of Bunny Trail to the south to provide access to the new school, we had to put in a crossover that wasn't initially planned for, so that we added a change order onto that project so that it would have a crossover. Additionally, we put in put in for some additional conduit that we put in for the purpose of eventually that down the road to see if we possibly could use it, but we found that it didn't have enough value for the price, so that we took that out. So this is a net deduct of $369,984. So I think the city manager might be up since this is negative now.
Did you say crossover, that's so that the eastbound traffic on 201 can take a left on the
Yes,
Bunny
sir.
Trail?
That is correct, sir.
Any questions for Mr. Lewick? Any questions for Mr. Lewick? Mr. Gilmore?
What was the conduit part that was in
Conduit has multiple reasons. We looked at potentially putting in conduit would provide for network capabilities, also for signals, things like that. But the price is cost prohibitive to connect it all throughout the whole city. It costs tens of millions of dollars to do it all. At the time when we scoped this project several years ago, we looked at trying to put some conduit in because the prices were so down, but we didn't get that lucky. So it's just it's spare conduit.
Any other questions for Mr. Lewick? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is